Man, it's funny how life works, ain't it? Look, Fetty Wap was outselling Eminem one year. Another year, he's facing a decade in federal prison. Now look, the rise of Fetty Wap was historic. Well, and the fall was pretty silent. The sentence was 6 years behind bars for the 1738 rapper. Now look, we're now in 2026, and he just did his first interview with The Breakfast Club, which to me showed a lot of growth and a lot of promise for what he could potentially do in the future. And that's why in this video, I'm gonna break down Fetty Wap's incredible rise in music, where he kind of went wrong, and see if he can actually make a comeback in music. By the way, guys, my name is Uche, and I make videos like this every single week, or at least I'm planning to. So if you enjoy videos like this, hit that like button, that hype button, and run that thing up for me. Also, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this and you want to see me elevate. Hey, listen, I ain't gonna do too much more talking. Let's just jump right into this, guys. Okay. Let's talk about the New Jersey native from Patterson. And yo, we gotta start with the golden era, man. The era in which we all were randomly saying 1738 to the homies for no good reason. Look, we all have to start in 2015 because if you weren't there, you truly can't understand how inescapable this man was. Fetty Wap didn't just enter the game. Yo, he kind of kicked the doors off the hinges because on September 25, 2015, he dropped the self-titled debut called Fetty Wap, and it was an absolute monster. I mean, we're talking a #1 debut on the Billboard 200s, selling 129K first week units. And I remember checking out the charts and seeing those 3 songs glued to the top. Trap Queen, 679 featuring Monty, and My Way featuring Monty again. I mean, it was a prolific start, maybe the fastest peak we've ever seen in hip hop. But as we know in this industry, the higher you climb, the harder you fall. Like, we know how you go. And so Fetty definitely experienced his heights of inescapability, where he was on every award show, he was on red carpets, he was on everybody's television, he was in everybody's speakers. Everybody wanted to work with Fetty Wap, and yeah, it kind of came to a screeching halt. Now let's talk about the crash. I mean, we gotta talk about from platinum plaques to prison sales. Now, at this point, the momentum just kind of shifted, didn't it? By the time we got to 2021, the Zoo era felt like a distant memory. He dropped The Butterfly Effect on October 22nd, 2021, but the energy just felt different. It didn't even crack the top 100 of any Billboard charts of whatsoever. He was gone, vanished from the charts. It was a heartbreaking project, and honestly, recorded while he was mourning the tragic loss of his daughter and dealing with some legal issues that were super heavy for him and really would be heavy for anybody to carry. Even though fans stayed loyal and locked into tracks like The Truth, Out the Hood, Remember Me, it was pretty safe to say the world wasn't watching like they used to. And then the floor fell from beneath. October 2021, Rolling Loud, New York, and instead of taking the stage, he was taken into federal custody. In May 2023, he was sentenced to over 6 years. And just like that, the man who owned 2015 was gone. It felt like a definitive end to an era, didn't it? Now let's talk about the resurrection. Now, if you fast forward to today, I'm recording this video in January 2026, and the Zoo is officially back open for business because on January 8th, Fetty Wap was moved to home confinement. Now, he didn't waste any time either. He sat down with The Breakfast Club for his first post-incarceration interview, and let me tell you guys, this isn't the same Fetty Wap that we're used to. If you watched it, you know what I'm talking about. To me, he looked focused. He talked about his prison reset and getting his GED.
The prisoners run the programs in jail. So if you like taking classes, like I got my GED in prison.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
But the part that kind of stood out to me and took my attention, if you will, was when he talked about 50 Cent, where apparently 50 Cent was in his ear the entire time telling him, and I quote, "Stop messing up. You should have never stopped making music."
50 did a lot for me. From day one, it was like he reached out like, yo, whatever you need, just holler at me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, all right. It was nothing. Like, whatever I needed, he was right there. Like, he answered the phone. He didn't shy off. You know what I'm saying? All the way down to the time I'm about to come home. He said, yo, how you getting home and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So as far as financial and like mental like help, he was probably they're the biggest.
Fetty even kind of admitted that it took him a few weeks to write his first raps while in prison, because ultimately he never really wrote music while he was popping back in the day.
If anybody knows me, they know like I don't really write music. I just kind of freestyle. Like I just go in there and do my thing. So to write a song, it took me like maybe 3 weeks. The problem with me with writing is I feel like it's not as authentic as it is when you just go in there, because you got the option to change out things, say different things, or I would say this different, or I don't want to say this, like. So like when you writing, it's kind of like, let me make it sound better. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but when it's coming out, it's just whatever you feeling out there. That's like raw emotion. You know what I'm saying? So
I got a question for y'all. Do you think a resurgence is possible for Fetty Wap? Look at Sweet Yams. I mean, the man still has an ear for quality music. Now, there's a bunch of other songs that I could point out. I think the diversity in his artistry, the singing, the harmony has always been something that captivated fans, because it wasn't just hip hop. It wasn't quite R&B. It wasn't quite soul. It wasn't quite trap. It was damn near everything in one gumbo pot of what I just call music. Fetty made music that cut deep, and it cut every piece of sort of genre that you might want to kind of throw into things. And while he's on supervised release for 5 years, I mean, everybody kind of knows that, I think we might be witnessing a really dope story of redemption, number one, but also I think what made Fetty Wap popular back then still translates to 2026. And so if he's able to stay focused, if he's able to really dedicate himself from a music standpoint, I personally don't see why he can't make another run within music. Now, it may not be #1 Billboard run. It may not be he's selling out super large stadiums or doing any crazy Billboard numbers, because hip hop is down from a commercial standpoint. Gotta be real about that. I do envision Fetty Wap becoming more of what he was and less of what he's been in the last 5 years, which is somebody who was behind bars, dropping music from behind bars, but the music not really cutting through for fans to really grab a hold of it. So we shall see what happens with Fetty Wap. I'm very optimistic. I think it's easy to write him off and say his time has come and his time has passed. But like I said, I think one of the things that make Fetty Wap special was what made him special back in 2015, where Trap Queen rung off on every street, every race, every demographic of people was singing Fetty Wap's song. And I think it's for a reason, guys. And if he still has a semblance of what magic was in his earlier music, I think he might be able to catch some people off guard, guys. But we shall see. But what do you guys think? Are you looking forward to new Fetty Wap music? Or has his time in music came and went and you're just kind of off what he once was at this point? Y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments. As always, my name is Uche. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.